Brooklyn mom called it terrorism. When her teenage son was shot dead, he was riding in a van on the Brooklyn Bridge filled with Orthodox Jewish students back in 1994. Tonight, the FBI said she was right all along. Mary Murphy covered this story from the beginning. Mary.
Thanks, Katie. The director of the FBI has announced Devorah Halberstam will receive the Community Leadership Award, a national honor. What makes this story so remarkable is that she fought with the FBI for many years about the way it was designating her son's murder. An FBI honor guard for a Brooklyn mother of 5, a grandmother of 7, Devorah Halberstam receiving the agency's highest civilian award tonight for a crusade against terrorism.
The truth is, I wish I were not here today.
15 years ago, when a white van carrying Halberstam's oldest child, Ari, and 14 other schoolmates from the Lubavitcher Jewish community came under gunfire on the Brooklyn Bridge by a Lebanese-born cab driver armed with an arsenal of weapons, the case was initially labeled road rage.
I screamed for hours before anybody would actually tell me that Ari was shot. He was the first one to be shot by the Uzi machine gun, and it blew his brains out for the most part. It took me years to forget the sounds of his footsteps in the house.
Her Crown Heights apartment still filled with mementos from Ari's 16 years of life.
This is Ari's bar mitzvah.
Halberstam recalling now that she learned within a week Ari's murder was not road rage, but probably revenge.
A Jewish settler had walked into a mosque in Hebron, and he had shot up the mosque, killing 29 Arabs. It happened 3 days before.
Boz had made a video confession.
I'm Lebanese, from Beirut, so always into guns and these things.
And even though Boz was sentenced to 141 years in prison, it wasn't enough for Devorah Halberstam. Halberstam's victim impact statement during Rashid Boz's sentencing was entered into the 1995 congressional record. And as other terror plots were revealed in the late 90s, including one to blow up subways in Brooklyn, Devorah Halberstam took note. On the 6th anniversary of Ari's death, I was inside Halberstam's apartment when she opened the evidence bag containing her son's bullet-riddled clothes as Halberstam was pushing the FBI to designate Ari's murder an act of terrorism.
People would look at me and just thought, well, I was a hysterical mother.
Halberstam prevailed. When the FBI published its year 2000 report on terrorism, the agency declared her son did indeed die in an act of terror. It meant a lot for you to have this in the book.
Absolutely, because this is a historical document. That's what's important.
This man followed that van, and there was only one reason why he shot at it, and that was because the kids in there were Jewish.
But now we can clearly see that it was part of a whole pattern of terrorist activity that keeps repeating itself right down to the situation in Fort Hood.
The FBI's New York director commended Halberstam for helping to create New York State's anti-terrorism law and Ari's law against interstate gun trafficking.
Devorah brought about the first lawsuit in the history of American jurisprudence against the gun manufacturer that supplied Ari's killer with a gun kit that he used to construct the weapon in the shooting.
Halberstam lost that lawsuit, but she got the FDR Drive's ramp leading to the Brooklyn Bridge named for Ari and raised $30 million to build a Jewish Children's Museum in Ari's memory on Eastern Parkway, which teaches tolerance.
The only way to live in this world is by accepting another person, understanding other cultures.
But her final words tonight from the FBI podium, a warning.
The single biggest threat to America is not international Islamic terror. The biggest danger is when we allow a misguided sense of political correctness to prevent us from identifying the real threat.
Halberstam has gone from being a victim of terror to an expert, and she now lectures FBI agents and other law enforcement across the nation. She goes to Washington in March to meet the FBI director. She is a remarkable person.
It's amazing what one person can do, and especially what one mom can do.
Exactly.
Put your mind to it. Thank you.